girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. Wasted moments, full of potential atonement. An angel in disguise, but he can see your Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. Oh, he's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. The girl that time You let her go, catacombs. You let her go, let her go, catacombs. You let her go.
I was all set to be seamless for the transition that time, Vendetta, but then I accidentally started coughing right when it ended, so we had to take a short little momentary pause. before we conclude this 6-hour best of 2.
Sounds about right. 6 hours?
I mean, unless we actually get, another 2 games in 1 with, 50 or 30 rounds of overtime. It could potentially happen.
Yeah, I mean, we went 60 rounds earlier. These guys have played each other. This will be the 4th map they'll play against each other, this evening. So definitely familiar territory for either side. Now, of course, Virtus.Pro, they're 2-1 in the evening, 2-0 in FaceIt. But like you said, that 60-round game, that 30 overtime game did go the way of FlipSid. Eventually, it took some time to get there, but now we're on Cobblestone, which, interestingly enough, in the best of 2, is their map decision. So they actually stole, and quite literally, how long it took them, but stole cash away from Virtus.Pro. Now, the reason this game's still being played out is because they won that first map, there's implications. Simply for the fact that Virtus.Pro are still vulnerable of falling to the lower bracket into the playoffs. As we see on Group B, it's secured. It's top 2 in green. They make it through to the upper bracket. The 2 below that, they move on to the lower bracket, and the 2 below that, grayed out, are gone. And in this case, both teams will make it through. FlipSid Tactics sit in 4th right now, but win this second map, and they jump both Kingwin and VP and move into the upper bracket. So there's still a little bit to play for here from FlipSid's perspective.
There's definitely, points to be played for in that sense. Going into the upper bracket gives you one more chance. You actually can have that one gimme, where you mess things up, you don't play your best, or, you just... basically you can throw away a game. That's pretty much how it works, and you're gonna get a second chance. Lower bracket, you lose, you're out. That's obviously not a situation you want to be in. So lots to play for, and I mean it's a pretty hefty amount of change as well being exchanged here from CounterPit to the players. So you want to have the best opportunity to win.
The other aspect of this is that FlipSid is the only team across the entire league that's yet to tie. So I kind of hope Virtus.Pro win this just so that every single team had at least one draw.
That would actually be insane. Like, FlipSid hasn't a single tie yet?
They're 2-0-2. The only team that didn't secure... Actually, I take that back. Gamers2 and Titan both didn't win, but they each had ties. In fact, Titan had 3 ties for 3 points total.
Were there 2 teams in that? Didn't Hellraisers also have 3 ties?
Hellraisers had 2 ties, but Envious and TSM also had 3 ties.
Okay, that's how it was, yeah.
So that said, we are just waiting for the players to join over. It looks like everybody pretty much is here. In fact, just getting into it. They're obviously coming over from the FlipSid, or the FaceIt FlipSid matchup on Mirage. So there'll be a second or two shortly. A little bit of a halftime break for them. But Cobblestone, what do you expect, Vendetta? I think it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously FlipSid like this map. They like the T side of this map. They've always been in favor of it, even before the current iteration of the map. The previous iteration that was in CSGO, they were a fan of. So it's actually VP, although they're pretty good on it, that are might be a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a map that FlipSid enjoy playing. I think we've seen them pick into Cobblestone pretty much any time they've had the opportunity to do so as of late. So definitely a comfort pick for them. That said, though, Virtus.Pro have had their number last couple of times they've played versus each other. But you know, the same thing was the case for Navi as well when they're going up against FlipSid. But FlipSid always, gradually gets closer and closer and closer and closer. So maybe they've worked on some things. They definitely know how Virtus.Pro play on this map. And that's something they want to take advantage of, because it seems silly to pick into a map that you're not gonna have a shot at, right? So I definitely think FlipSid have done their homework and know how VP play, and they obviously want to close out the night with a win instead of losing 3 times to the same team in one night.
And someone in chat just realized that I do have an overlay issue, so Knife's gonna start as soon as it finishes. I'm gonna very quickly restart the game because my overlay is a little bit flawed. No radar, and the map's a little bit skewed as well. So, wow, really, Neo? That was pretty awesome to watch. Unfortunately, Simple's AFK, so keep us updated on the map, or the knife round. I'm going to go ahead and restart really quickly.
Yeah, no, 2 players left. Well, I guess it's kind of a 2v2 because Simple's still AFK in spawn. So, yeah, only snacks remaining for VP. He goes down to Bondic. So that means FlipSid are going to have the opportunity to actually choose what side they want to start on. Not surprisingly, they start this on the CT side, even though we know that it is their T side that is the strongest. But we talked about this earlier today. It's kind of a comfort setting, I guess, having the opportunity to get into the game a bit. But yeah, FlipSid managed to win that knife 4v5. I'm not even sure if Simple's back right now. I still AFK in spawn.
All right, and I should be back as well. And we'll get into it. So hopefully Simple rejoins us soon, but flip side, they should start out CT. Get things rolling. I'll bring the overlay back in once we're fully into the server.
Yeah, not really sure what Simple is doing, but he's clearly too busy to actually join in on the knife round, but didn't really have an impact. Well, what we've seen from FlipSid previously is that when they start on, not their favorite side, let's say Mirage, for instance, the T side is really good on Mirage. They've still opted to start on the CT side and gotten pummeled, and then not had really the opportunity to kind of climb back into things. So hopefully that's not going to be the case for them today. And Taz is doing case openings.
Lovely. This is what you do when you wait. And he actually got a CZ75 auto. Not bad.
Hold position. At least it's not a blue, right?
No, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's alright. Way to go, Snacksy. I mean, either way, though, this is an interesting map to watch. Flip side, again, they like to run sort of that swing dynamic player that's sort of in the back of the B site as opposed to doubling drop. A lot of teams will run sort of a... You can even see 1, 2, 3 players at B with a straight line, or 1 in drop, 2 near the tree, and 3 over at the choke point, somewhere in this area. But FlipSid have been running the second player back over by statue, which gives them more of a swing position, but it puts less control on drops. So it'll be interesting to see if VP can take control of that, because it's a bit of a thing for them. Pistol's going to start, though, and information already Simple way out toward CT long. Meanwhile, Virtus.Pro, 4 players on B. It's going to be interesting to see how hard they want to hit this, if they want to go down drop with 2, and 2 in through the choke point, because so far, that appears to be the setup as Bondic looks towards the drop, but he has to get out of it as that nade rains through, and now he's forced to give it up entirely, as they both do come in. And eventually they'll push towards long. It's Markelov to take down Snacks on the entry. Taz gets the second, and Bialy to get Markelov to avenge Snacks, and leaves 3 on 3, but Bomb's going to go down. And now it's Pasha that's just going to hold off to make sure they won't get flanked, but he's going to actually have company as one is walking directly toward him. That's actually going to be Blade, who's dropped down already. I take that back. It's actually not, but it's actually Simple that's come all the way around from long. So Blade's got an inside drop room separately, as now Neo looks to find him. Meanwhile, Pasha did find Simple, but Neo waiting for him to come through, and he telegraphs that perfectly with his footsteps. So Neo's easily able to take the shot, and Virtus.Pro will get the pistol.
Yeah, and right off the bat we go into a pause. But yeah, no, solid pistol round from Virtus.Pro. The problem for FlipSid right there is that they got split up way too heavily. World Edit dropped outside of drop room, so he was, or even behind the door, he's in that connector area between A and B. And he had no chance of actually helping out any of the 2 remaining members on the B bomb set for FlipSid. And it's just, from the get-go, it's really hard to hold it, even with 3 people in fairly okay positions. Especially on a pistol round, when the Glocks just come running at you, and you don't really have sufficient nades to hold them back. So, yeah, just FlipSid being spread too thin, and a pretty easy pistol round for VP.
Another little pause, as you mentioned. So, one lagged one moment. Apparently it's Blade again that's calling for it. Last time, in the first match, we actually saw an extended pause, which only added to the elapsed time of the game, having that we went so far into overtime. But it was actually World Edit who got internet problems in that one. This time it's actually not going to be him, because he's still in here. And we saw Markelov leave. And we already see SMGs out. No rifles picked up just yet, but they could elect to go for one on Taz. Comfortably enough. We'll see if he does, because he was the bomb planter, keep in mind. But if they go for all SMGs on this map, there's a lot of long angles. You can actually lose duels against the pistols.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that FlipSid are a team that enjoy picking up the deagle as well. So all you need is that one hit to potentially down some of the VP members. And you're not going to be that afraid if they're, on long distances with an SMG. You'll gladly take that fight with the deagle if you had even light armor. I guess it remains to be seen. Virtus.Pro are typically a team that enjoys playing out with SMGs. It's, they very mobile that way, and it's not the biggest thing in the world if you actually die, and the upside, just getting 1 kill is massive for them. So I wouldn't be too surprised if you saw Taz and Pasha just buy out with SMGs. I guess Pasha could potentially hold if he wants an op very early.
Well, that's the other thing, too. If they do want to get the op-out T side, there's a bit of a use for it. Definitely coming through mid. Getting into B, if you can actually secure the platform on the entry, you can use it to pick towards statue. It's pretty open as well. And, I mean, there's lots of openings, actually, for a T-sided op on this map.
Yeah, and I mean, VP, if they want to prefer, you know, if they favor going towards that B bomb site, they can easily put Pasha alone in mid, just holding off any sort of aggression coming from A halls or, you know, through doors in mid, that type of thing. Pasha can hold that off alone with an op, and that leaves 4 others to create havoc towards B. So that's also, you know, something that they can look into doing. I don't think Pasha is the kind of player who plays similar to Olaf would do with it op on towards B, you know, kind of solo pushing out onto the plateau, trying to just clear out the bomb site by himself. I don't think Pasha is capable of that, but, you know, he can still get a ton of work done with just holding off positions towards that A bomb site.
Yeah, the A-bomb site is like normally it's so weird. Like if you have the dynamic op, you can totally get the op over toward B on this map and have a lot of swing control. Like playing back by statue and just a lot more reactionary based shots, but long is so clear cut and A is so clear cut on how to play it with the op. So we'll see. Still waiting for Markelov to rejoin us. So far no indication. It says he is back. So Blade says he is back. I assume that means in the VoIP program. So naturally, he should be joining into the server any second, and then we'll be able to get rolling again.
That's the hope, at least. And I mean, the first map started kind of similar as well. So hopefully and it was only once, so hopefully we'll get this out of the way early on.
Yeah, that's true. It did only happen once for a brief moment earlier. It was just the one time. I'm sure VP and Flipside both would like to get this over with. Again, this started 6 hours ago. And they've been playing each other all night long. At 7 p.m. where I was, it was 1 p.m. where we started. And I imagine for you and for these guys, it's significantly later where I'm on the better side of the pond.
That's one way of looking at it, yeah. No, yeah, it's taken a bit of the night. I mean, we're nearing midnight here. So, but you know, it's not unknown territory for people that play, right?
No,
I think actually,
nor is it unknown territory for viewer
unknown
demographics.
Yeah, I think it's actually more unknown territory to get up at like 11 to actually watch games like you would. Because that's when we started out, right? Roughly? 11 or 12 for you?
For which, sorry?
No, for you.
When we start in the morning?
11 or 12 this game?
No, what do you mean when we started this morning? It was 1 o'clock.
Okay, 1 o'clock. Okay, so it's not that
bad. Yeah. No, I'm super east. I'm Atlantic time zone, so I'm like east +1.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But we're back. We're ready to roll. Markelov in the game. Flipside back with 5 players, which means we can get underway. It's going to be 4 SMGs, not 5, up against them. And like you said, Pasha holding onto the pistol likely indicates that he wants to get the op out early. Neo, nice pop flash through for Snacks as he tries to back himself into the middle. And that's where Blade was waiting. In fact, Snacks, did he just go right by him? I think he did. Where did Blade disappear to? A magician as he sits inside the corner, and they definitely heard him as Snacks turns back around, takes his head off with the Mac 10 to boot. Now it's going to be Taz that gets the second kill. Markelov goes down, make it a third. He crouches through the vent, and finds Bondic. Leaves Simple World Edit, the last that's left.
Simple was hiding out with Blade as well, and he's going for the knife here on Bialy, it looks like.
Oh, but Bialy turns around. He still gets the reactionary shot, so strong from him to have the reflexes on point that quickly, but you're right, he definitely was trying to get that knife. Meanwhile, though, that leaves just World Edit, so it's going to be 2-0 quite convincingly. World Edit has head armor and a P250, so naturally wants to hold on to those as best he can, and that means he's going to go hide in the truck and spawn. This is actually a good spot to hide, because everyone checks the tower by default.
Yeah, actually, I've actually never checked that spot in my life. I didn't even consider the fact that you could actually run into it. Oh, well, he's going to hold on to the armor at least in the P250, so he's got something to work with. He doesn't even have to invest anything at all into this round. And, well, judging from the buy-up right now, actually, what? Simple decides to buy up with FAMAS armor.
Just simple things.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I mean, sure, you know you're going up against SMGs, but you still don't have head armor, so the SMGs are really dangerous.
World Edit nailing out 2, so working the pistol quite well to start it off. That means we're back to an even situation, oddly enough, on this anti-eco round from Virtus.Pro. And oddly enough, the rifle, the only rifle that's up, we made mention of it, is Simple. And maybe that was him being brilliant, knowing the fact that they only had SMGs on the opposing side, and wishfully thought that he could beat them with distance. So far, though, not coming toward A. They head toward B. That's where Bondic waits, and he's just flashed out a little bit, but he's in the corner. That means Bialy overlooks, but Bialy, the actions are there. That's going to make it need Simple use that rifle to his advantage. Does, and then it's a double nade from Neo.
Yeah, so Virtus.Pro hold off the scare, and Simple is completely broke right now. Bondic doesn't really have that much cash to work with either. I'm assuming... Oh, he's actually going to go with the C side. I was kind of expecting a deagle here. But yeah, not the greatest buys coming in from FlipSid. On Virtus.Pro's end, they're going to have plenty of cash to work around with. Neo actually not deciding to upgrade at all. So he's sitting at 6.3k and just holding on to that MP7. Might be a tad greedy, but you know, if it works, it works.
Markelov looking to the smoke with the M4. As the flash comes in, it Snacks. It's waiting on the other side of it, and Simple manages to jump up around, but Snacks hears him coming, so the AK easily gets the kill. As it simply was the element of surprise that Simple was relying on, and he gave that up. As Neo looks back and sees his teammate retreating from long, but they're all still sort of, I shouldn't say all, but 4 of 5 looking toward this A site.
Now Bialy and Pasha are rotating over with the bomb towards that B bomb site. And I gotta agree with that. More open space with the long-range weapon. I mean, it's more favorable for you than having to crouch around corners all the way up towards that A bomb site, where there's plenty of places to hide. Taz is just gonna work as a decoy and potentially pick up rotations.
Well, that it was jumping over the statue to see what he could see. But all that he did see was Virtus.Pro in a number of 3, and they've all come in the sight behind him, so he falls back and sees Neo coming in from drop. Doesn't matter where he goes, there's a man waiting for him. As a result, it's just Blade and Markelov. And Markelov, he at least gets Neo, but the bomb is down. So it's going to be 2 on 4 post-plant, and Taz still lurking on A.
And Virtus.Pro are in a situation where they have enough money that they can actually go for the hunt here, and Taz already in a really good position to catch people off. Oh, instead gets returned upon. Markelov actually takes him out, but gives away his position for the time being. Blade might actually be able to pick up a frag here as well.
Not necessarily going to happen, though, with Snacks. We'll find him in the corner.
Oh, what Markelov?
Bialy to take down Markelov.
Yeah, that's a kill Markelov should have had. I don't know what happened right there. Seemed like he kind of lost control over his mouse for a second, but ends up with him dying. I think he would have died, actually, regardless if he picks up that kill or not, but, you know, extra $300 is always nice. Since FlipSid back to an eco, and, well, Virtus.Pro looking really good, and my biggest scare for FlipSid was the fact that they would get off to start like this and not really manage to reel back from it.
And it's them that need to win to get to the upper bracket. Is Simple. He's starting to come alive now, but it's only with the pistol. Still going to work out. FlipSid gets world edit with 2, and Snacks only gets 1 back. That means, obviously, by simple maths, they've got the advantage, FlipSid. As that nade goes past the statue, does do a decent amount of damage on him. World edit down to 5 for him in the op. If Pasha knew how low he was, he wouldn't necessarily go for it, but does hit the shot. It's Markelov that goes down. Blade's going to dance around the garden because he needs to get the angle up close with the pistol and take the proper fight. Pasha biceps left to 4 HP meanwhile, while Taz continues to try and work forward. The bomb is still up, but they're so hesitant to get this angle.
It seems like Taz has spotted all 3 members.
He may get them lined up right now. In fact, so low HP that just the stray bullet onto Markelov's good enough, so that gives Pasha the angle to take down Bondic. And it very quickly could have gone the other way, but the patience works for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, no, it definitely worked. And FlipSid, you know, not having invested all that much into that round, going for the 5-man stack towards B, it nearly worked out. I mean, you could kind of argue that when they get up into a situation where they've already killed 3 people, you know, had that 3-for-1 trade, they should be able to close it out. But still very hard with no armor whatsoever, because the aim punch is really going to mess you up.
So through the smoke goes Simple, using the CZ75 to take down Taz. Pasha's waiting. So that stays at 4s. With 1 each down. A little bit less HP for VP as Bialy's on 80. But Bondik's waiting at drop, so he covers this off, and as the defense is thin, they're forced to split among the bong sites, so Neo's going to work through the smoke now, trying to get up toward middle. Blade's waiting. Giving up long from that position, but now he'll fall back as that secondary smoke comes out. They saw it, they know they're coming A, they'll call for the rotation, but they're not on their way just yet, so they have not. Now they do, and they have to walk over from B in time, but there's no time left. Markelov's gone down, there's nobody in the site. It's given up to Virtus.Pro by only losing one life in the form of Neo. As another smoke comes out at top of the stairwell, that means the high side won't be able to cover the cross, and the last player remaining is World Edit, and Snacks, unaware that he could see him through the vent, does get taken down, and the texture's definitely favoring outwardly, but now it's World Edit with another, so Pasha drops. It's got it down to a one-on-one, and World Edit looking for more. He has spotted up exactly where Bialy's playing. Bialy flashes himself aboard and tries to use that AK up close. He hears him above, and he turns back. It's a headshot, and Virtus.Pro stay unbeaten so far.
That World Edit did a lot of work right there. That never should have been that close, but 2 great shots from him. Definitely had the opportunity to take out Bialy as well, so that's unfortunate for FlipSid. They could have finally broken the deadlock and gotten on the board and potentially build up a bit of a cushion, or get at least nearing that 5-round mark that I think they need, because they do have their T side to fall back on, but rounds like that are something you desperately want going up against VP. And again, it's another round where they don't really have that much nades. Mainly from Mosses as well, so 3 smokes left and 1 flash. That's everything they have to work with for the last 1 minute and 15 seconds. They do have a 4-man stack, though, towards the B bomb site.
We'll see if this 4-man stack can work, as we do see both sides of drop are covered. Bondik's up close. Another flash to go in on top of him. Fire beyond that, so he's going to be stuck in between the two, and I'm not sure how he's going to play that, as Bondik looking toward the wall, trying to dodge flashes right now. All the while, Virtus.Pro, they've elected not to put all their eggs in one basket. They now look toward the B connector. Checking off on the Olaf corner. No one there, Neo realizes, so looks back inside the site. World Edit, though, he's still playing at the statue position. We talked about how FlipSid love to use it, but so far they haven't put anyone up close on the B connector, so when they come around the corner, he's only able to get the first, but now it's FlipSid to respond with Bondik and Blade. Bialy takes the head off of Blade, brings it back down to a 2-on-3. Smoker deployed in the alley. The boost will get them above that, but the boost is completely nullified as Simple drops, and Bialy again, he's got 3 in the round to bring it all back, and Pasha up close. Beautifully placed shot on Bondik.
Crazy round by Bialy, really. Game-saving, or round-saving performance from him right there. And that's, again, that's a situation where FlipSid are in an advantageous position. They have the man advantage, they have positional advantage, and, well, they start giving up kills. That's unfortunate for them, because they need every single round. They could have easily had 2 to 3 rounds at this point, which would have been a pretty great spot to be in if you're FlipSid on the CT side of Kabul. Instead, Bialy, makes it work for them, but there we go. First time, or, first time in the long while, they actually get a clean entry or opening frag without having to trade.
So Taz looking at mid. Has Blade pushing down on the opposite side. Now he's got more than just that to worry about, though, because Blade has 3 working in that angle. As Pasha's using the op to open up on top of the A site, it's Blade, though, that does still manage to get the drop on the first, and somehow staying alive through the flash to pick up another. And that allows Markelov to easily come out, collect the third, so that fell apart fast for VP. And a little bit unexpected, perhaps, now as Bialy goes back with the AK, and he needs to recover the bomb, but in order to do that, has to take down Markelov. Spots up the second player above him. It's still a 1-on-2.
FlipSid does have World Edit coming in from behind here, but Bondik's going to get the job done. And yeah, that could have very easily turned. I'm not really sure how Taz did not manage to kill Blade down in mid there. And kind of fortunate for Blade to actually get that last bullet of his FAMAS onto the head of Taz as well. But I guess you could say that Virtus.Pro have been a tad bit lucky with the kind of a monster clutch rounds that Bialy's already, brought forward. So it could have easily been quite a few more rounds for FlipSid, so I guess it was about time that Karma kind of returned the favor for them.
So it's a shot now from Simple to start it off again. He's at 75. He's the only one using the pistol. Staggered buys from him, but Virtus.Pro bring 2 back, and Snacks, Bialy, they're the ones to do so. Markelov, though, dropped immediately by Neo. So Bialy crossing into the site. They'll be able to use the bomb to full effect, put it down early. Now just pull over the last 2 remaining players, World Edit, Bondic, and I'm not 100% sure they're both going to go, as World Edit's just making sure Bondic won't get pushed. They might just stabilize themselves to look for the exit kills and then run away with these guns, because after resetting a money bonus, they're not going to have much to work with in the next round, and having dropped 3, it's not like forcing it will be easy either.
Yeah, and I'm kind of unsure as to what's going through Simple's mind right now. He had 3.4. Like, after buying that round, so I don't really know what he's doing right about now. He easily could have afforded a FAMAS, or, you know, even a Colt in light armor. But, you know, he's kind of just mucking about right now, and it's hurting FlipSid. Even though he's picking up kills with the CZ, he could do so much more with the rifle. And, well, it's not a great situation for FlipSid to be in.
So back underway, 8-1. It's VP that are definitely in control. They lost the first map earlier today. If you weren't with us, it was 60 rounds on cash. Now it's going to be Virtus.Pro that want to get over top of drop. Double flash in. You know, mollying right side. They'll push hard left. That's where World Edit waits. Bondic's up close. He's actually trying to get control of the platform for the first time, as FlipSid have played so passively using World Edit. But look at Bialy go as he picks up 2 up close. Snacks has already gotten 2 before that, so the 2 of them right now are on absolute fire as it's 9-1.
Easy anti-eco round for Virtus.Pro. Actually, one of the first anti-eco rounds where they've not lost an extreme amount of players, or actually gone down in men during that round. But it largely due to Snacks, though, getting those 2 opening frags on the site there instead of getting returned upon instantly. That kind of opens everything up for Virtus.Pro. But now, Simple just continuing to not buy up. He's got 3.3k and is still going with the CZ armor. I don't even know what he's doing, but it's kind of, well, it's dumb.
World Edit shotgun useful, very successful up against Snacks. The Neo now taking down World Edit with the AK. Neo just looking for more as he pops out. Make sure no one's pushed up on top of the plateau. Back to smoke to add to the complexion of their entry. More to disguise them with.
Well, the EP is heading over towards that A-bomb site. And even if Markelov makes the rotation over towards A, still going to be quite a bit of a gap here, and a very thin defense for FlipSid. So Markelov and Blade, they're going to have to get at least 2 frags here if they want to have a shot at winning the round.
And Neo, he already finds his way inside the site, but around the truck, Markelov's dropped down, interestingly enough, so that puts himself stuck in the corner. Now it's Pasha to get the shot against him. Now it's going to be Simple to get 1 in return, but the bomb has made it over to the bomb site, but he's down, it's out, it's Taz to drop, and somehow this comes back to a 1-on-1 suddenly. So Bialy just needs to make sure Bondic doesn't peek up and peer against him, and he's not aware that Bondic, who very, very sneakily is crawled over to the left side, is in fact there, but nonetheless Bialy, being smart about it, is going to look for a safe plant. Just has to watch for the exit, does Bondic. And if his head shows up at all, that FAMAS is pre-aimed into the corner, but not able to land the shot. Now it's up above. Bialy trying every angle possible as he slides away from the site. He's actually going to do it. He leads the way, 16 frags, and they lead the way with a hefty scoreline of 10-1.
That's pretty one-sided right about now. That could have been, you know, a decent round for FlipSid. Simple actually used a rifle for the first time in the game so far, so instantly picks up 2 kills with it. So, you know, make of that what you will. And the fact that Markelov actually managed to kill the bomb carrier for VP in that kind of a, you know, awkward position for VP. But okay, so everybody's pretty much ecoing except for World Edit and Simple. Simple is button off. Feel like he might be on tilt.
As we do now see Bondic open things up with the pistol. But through the smoke, Blade does come in. Bondic gonna wait now below drop a little bit further. A little bit longer. Bondic now gets his second with that P250, so round working out alright for him, that's for sure. But now Taz can only get the 1, so Simple bringing it back with the op. Bialy a little bit scared as he hears something over toward long, realizes now that it's Neo, so outwits himself, but bomb still gets planted. Does give a little bit more time, not a whole lot, but a little bit more time for the rotators to get closer to the site. As Neo's going to hold across, but he's so far away from the site, in fact, that if they went the deep way around him, behind the van, he wouldn't be able to spot them, so he has to run toward it. And Bialy now gets caught, so does Neo. Simple hits that shot, and it's going to be a defuse. Flip side, congratulations, you've got 2.
Very awkward, very weird decision from Bialy to actually try to run towards Apps. I have no idea what he actually wanted to you know, make happen from that, because they already had Neo. Neo could have easily stepped in once one of the flip side members are forced to actually go towards the bomb site to defuse the bomb, but Bialy could have just sat back in the corner, just waiting and holding off one angle pretty much fairly safely. And I think they would have been way better off with that. Instead, he runs out, gets caught out by 2 players, and Neo is forced to fight. So VP kind of giving a way around right there, but still pretty decent sized cushion they have to work with already.
Neo looking over the top from long. Smoke does go out. It's a middle click, so... or double click, rather, I guess I should say. So that'll fall immediately on the inside of the garden. Cover off the alley, but finally someone up toward Chicken Coop. So a change of pace right now from Flipside, or at least from the positioning perspective, as Neo gets World Edit back. And Neo looking for more, but can't get it. It's Simple that comes back out and uses the op to his advantage. Taz getting him in response as he's gotten already inside the site. Taz is in a good position. As he pops out and in behind the rock, manages to get one more before Markelov responds. But look at Pasha. He had that shot lined up for a mile.
VP do pretty much the same thing every time they attack that B bomb site, and it's always Pasha is the remaining player on plateau with that op to just kind of reign over that entire area. And it's been working out pretty well for them because it can always get those entry frags, even though Simple, you know, is in that chicken house from the get-go and actually has a good opportunity to land a couple of shots. VP are made aware of that, you know, instantly, and they kind of keep him contained with Molotovs and whatnot. And again, couple, you know, just half the team kind of buying up from Flipside.
Snacks looking through the smoke, not able to find anyone yet. So he'll work back over toward B.
It's only Bondik on Flipside's side right there in this moment, but we have Simple and Markelov rotating over. Should be able to set up a pretty okay defense unless Bondik gets caught out.
And Bondik does get caught out because that flash left him completely blind, so he had no defense whatsoever when Snacks came around the corner. As now we see Markelov contributing for one more, but it's Snacks to try and divide. He gets taken down. Flipside, World Edit, fast rotation, and they've got the man advantage now to Flipside. As things continue to go their way, World Edit now finding Bialy, leaving just Pasha remaining. Again, he's on the plateau. He's been sitting back there so long because he's got the upper ground, and he has such a good, easy shot towards the drop zone. So he just has to wait for them to work toward him. But now he's got to change his angle because he has to get this bomb. It's dropped on the wall behind him. He hasn't worked back for it just yet. He's actually just wants to take the fight, and it's World Edit who waits for him to pop back out and takes him down.
Yeah. Flipside getting actually, well, even though they get money broken, you know, their economy completely broken in that previous round, they managed to bring it back, and largely due to World Edit's 3 frags right there. But still, getting maximum 4 rounds out of your CT half is not where you want to be. Even though you have a strong T side, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for them going into the second half. I guess the good thing for them right now is the fact that they are in a pretty favorable position to actually pick up that very last round of the first half, seeing how most of VP are on pistols. And they don't really have that many nades, which they have been using pretty heavily whenever they want to take a site.
Snacks back out to check the alley, and it's Simple who pays the price for that. So back over toward A, though. It looks like that's the attack they want. Taz gonna work up the stairwell. It's World Edit, though, and he actually does get his second kill quite quickly. I almost thought it was going to be a second kill, a double kill, as they almost lined up for him. As Pasha, he will get Bondik, and VP looking strong to come back in the round, but not strong enough as Blade lines up too. He's going to drop the bomb on Markelov and close it out at 11-4, which isn't too bad considering this was 10-1 and started out all VP.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I wouldn't exactly give them a golden star for that first half. I mean, weird buys all over, Simple refusing to buy a rifle. In that last round, for instance, World had the money to actually drop a FAMAS over to him, over to Simple, but instead he was just sitting at 3.150. Yeah, just in his bank, and what the hell? Okay, yeah, no, Simple's definitely tilting. Like, there's no doubt. He just took the bomb and tried to drop it behind the porta potties.
And that's kind of troll. That's Simple being a little bit frustrated with the team. Remember, they've lost 3 games in a row now to VP. So, yeah, maybe he is starting to tilt. And that's just silly, though, to be that immature about it. But that's us speculating, as now Simple runs back. He's just going to prolong this and gets taken down. All 5 alive for VP. Simple last to drop, and it's going to be 12-4.
Yeah, ace on the pistol for Pasha. Getting off to a strong start, and yeah, my eyes are just going to be focused on what kind of shenanigans Simple are up to. Well, he actually has the bomb right now, so I'm just going to see what he does with it. Okay, he's not going to try to get it stuck this time around, at least.
And Simple, he does at least position himself down below the connection point, terrorist connection point, rather, excuse me, to mid. But now it's going to be Virtus.Pro that's getting all the kills as B Alley comes back over to look toward long. B, of course, and there's already a second player holding there, so not a good chance the FlipSid will make their way through. But Blade does win the exchange against Neo. First, an initial dank, and the second shot was successful to put him in the grave. So it's down to 3 players remaining FlipSid, but 4 only for Virtus.Pro. Meanwhile, Snacks is one of those players, and he's pushed a long way through the map to take control, to get information. Now we find Simple, who's been waiting in there the whole time. Simple goes low on HP, but running out of ammo. It's Snacks that gets caught out by Blade as he comes around to save his teammate. And they still have a bit of a chance here now that Simple picks up a gun, even though he's only got the 6 HP. We'll see if he throws that over to Blade, because that should be the call. But Blade, he's in the middle of a battle right now with B Alley, and he's got his back turned. He needs to be careful that he's not taken down from behind, as Taz is already all over him, and his teammate's already dropped, and that's going to do it. They'll get it 13-4, closer than it should have been, but Virtus.Pro only 3 rounds away in this particular map, so I'm not sure 60 rounds is likely now.
No, I'm having a hard time seeing FlipSid come back from this. Okay, so Scout bought up on World Edit, and FlipSid are just buying up every single round, it seems like. I guess Blade is the only guy who's saving out for an AK. But everyone else is just buying up as they please, and I don't really see this working.
And Neo now setting up the crossfire. Down below the drop, flashes come over, Neo dodges, Neo turns back, uses the UMP, and Snacks found a kill before that, so it's all looking quite comfortable right now from Virtus.Pro as Neo's going to take down Bondic and leave it to World Edit. He's got a scout, but that's about it. And he tries to use it, can't. Snacks gets the kill, Virtus.Pro, 14-4.
Yeah, VP looking pretty strong to close this out. And, well, you have a sawed-off shotgun on Bondic, 2 AKs, Deagle, and a Tech 9, and very little nades for FlipSid as a whole. And I'm actually going to be surprised if they actually do something as a team at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see if they're even going to be able to get it back together. As Blade will come back over toward A site, bomb's going to get dropped down. And so far the kills are going evenly. It's Bondic though with the shotgun to take down Neo, so that's a bit cool to see the shotgun come into play on Cobblestone, because it's not a map you'd traditionally think of it, but there are some cool choke points and close angles you can get into. You just got to make sure you get there. That's the hard part, because the sites themselves are so open, and right now it's all open to VP and close to FlipSid, who can't get through, and now it's match point already. 15-14 FlipSid. They might have won the first map of the day in 60 rounds against Virtus.Pro, but they've lost the next 3, and of course 2 of those Face It maps, and it looks like they might stay in the lower bracket of these playoffs.
Yeah, it seems very likely at this point. They're gonna have to play 11 perfect rounds for this to happen for them, and the way they've been playing so far, that there's nothing that tells you that's even remotely likely. Right now they're just kind of running around. Bondic's picked up an auto shotty this round, so you know, variety is there.
Oh, Simple was so close to hitting that shot on Snacks. Doesn't happen. And Snacks now will take down Simple. World Edit comes back with another. But Pasha's in position with the op, and they're going to run toward him. He can't hit it initially. He actually gets taken down by World Edit. I believe it's a Markelov to come back against Neo, so that's another even trade. 2 versus 2. Blade and Markelov, the last 2 remaining. And it's Bialy that has to rotate quickly to try and get in a better angle. And Bialy, he's going to shake hands with one inside the smoke. Now comes back through the last remaining, and it's match point. Remember that? So Bialy, he closes it out. And a good map from him, 23 kills in only 20 rounds. VP will tie this back up, 16-14. Maps go 1-1. And VP, they'll stay second overall in the group and in the upper bracket. Flip side, I think they actually may pass Kingwin on the head-to-head. But they will stay in the lower bracket nonetheless.
Yeah, so no upper bracket for them to look forward to. But at least they've made it through, which I guess is kind of the big thing, really. Still have a shot at fighting for that top prize. But VP definitely looking like the better team.
And they actually don't. Map. They don't actually jump them due to the head-to-head. I would take that back. They were beat by Kingwin, so that means they each get 7 points, but Kingwin stays in the 3rd place seeding. Now that actually does matter based on who plays who, and et cetera, et cetera. So pretty cool to see them go into the lower bracket together. But it's Na'Vi, Virtus.Pro in the upper. So we'll see how this plays out and pans forward.
And yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I'm assuming since FlipSide had the last place, they're going to play either NV or TSM. I can't recall which one of them was actually.
Well, it's not crossover
first.
Format directly, right? So it's their upper bracket. So TSM and NV and Not As Sincere Virtus.Pro would play against themselves.
Bracket.
Exactly.
Jesus.
So it would be Kingwin, FlipSide, Mouse, Penta. 2 of those teams will go out right away, and then the winner of that game will await the loser of the upper bracket games. So that's how it works, Vendetta.
Yeah, dude, I'm just blaming this on it being late, having try to focus on this for 6 hours. It gets hard, man. But I was saying, okay, so they're either going to play Mouse Sports or Penta. That's pretty much how it is.
Well, either way, we will get into playoffs, I think, in just about a week or a week and a half. I haven't seen the finalized schedule yet. They are still scheduling with teams because now they're going to know who plays everyone officially. But they did have a preliminary draft together that started in about a week and a half. So once that's released, I'm sure if you follow CounterPit on Twitter, they'll be able to update you fully. It'll be on their website. I'm sure HLTV will have some sort of update about it as well. And that's when we'll see you next. So thanks so much for tuning in both this morning and tonight. 7 hours in between the two. I guess 6 hours from time we started to the time we finished. I shouldn't say 7. That's a bit of an exaggeration. But 6 hours to finish the best of 2. And these guys played each other 4 times today. Virtus.Pro, 3-1 overall. Not too bad. We'll see you then, guys. Bye-bye.